Hi there, Pam. Thank you. Thank you. I like this shot too. We're going to talk more about that shot later in the show. Um, welcome, welcome. It is 8:30 on Sunday morning. So it's 8:30 on the clock. It's 8:30 on the calendar. So we're like double whammy today. So we're doing something a little bit different with the cameras today. I'm using my good camera as my video camera just to be different. So as you can see, we're inside today because, again, we're working on post-processing and the lighting in my backyard is not ideal for looking at details. And specifically, we're going to be looking at color in post-processing, which should be exciting because I am colorblind. So you'll see what I go through to try to get something resembling color in my pictures. So where are we? What do we do? This is Sunday Morning Live with Ron. Okay. I, of course, am Ron. Okay. From Ron Alcott Photography. Okay. There we are. Sunday Morning Live with Ron. I am Ron. Okay. So what we do here is, first off, I'm going to show you not 5, but 6 actual photos that are going into the gallery this week. Okay, all new photos that have never been published before, including some from my very recent travels. And then in addition to that, we're going to do a photo lesson to teach you how you can make your photos better. Right now, we're in the middle of a module on post-processing. Okay, and I know a lot of people thumb up their noses at post-processing. Trust me, okay. Even Ansel Adams says a great photo is built, it is not taken. Okay? So there are a lot of things that go into making a great photo. And part of that is processing the photo after you've taken it. All right. So today's lesson, as I said, is going to be about color, tint, hue, and how to handle individual color variations. We'll see how that goes. As I said, I am completely red-green colorblind. So when they show me things on the used to be an old book, U.S. Air Force colorblind test book. Okay, and they showed me the very first page, and I couldn't find the number, but I can see colors. I don't see in gray. I just have a hard time distinguishing subtleties of colors. Okay, so that's me, but that's a personal problem. And then after we get done with the lesson, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up some of my pictures that, by my best guesstimate, have some color issues, and see what we can do with those. Okay. One happy Norwegian nurse. Welcome on Instagram. Glad to see you. I have really enjoyed your pictures, dude. I really like the pictures that you've taken there in Norway. They're quite wonderful. We have a second person joining from Facebook. Wow, we got a crowd this morning. Yay! How about that? So let's go ahead and get started. As I promised, we're going to show you the new images that go into the gallery, okay, and tell you a little bit about them one at a time. Okay, so we're starting right out here with this first image. This first image is called I Wish I'd Sat Inside. This is Winged Victory off of the hood of a Rolls Royce. Last weekend, I went up to a lot of places, but I ended up in Reno, Nevada, and through the good auspices and courtesy of the National Automobile Museum in Reno, I was able to take a bunch of pictures there. I've got over 300 pictures that I've taken, and those should be fun. I've done a first sort through them, and I've started doing some of the post-processing on some of them. But this is the first one I'm ready to show. What I really like about this picture is I like the way that the reflection came straight down onto the radiator here. Okay. I, of course, love all the shiny brass chrome. Okay. This actually has some color problems. It looks yellowish, but it was all silver. Okay. And then you can just see the Rolls Royce logo on the front of the grill there. So I took several pictures of this particular hood ornament. I went on a kick. When you're shooting 300 or so cars, and that's of what, almost 400 cars in the collection. You go through phases. I was there for 4 hours shooting pictures. So I went through a phase where I was fascinated by hood ornaments. So you'll be sure to see more hood ornaments in the future. Okay. This is the second one. This one is called Hidden Views 2. Some of you may remember I have a Hidden Views 1 on my website. And that is through a knothole. Hidden Views 1 was through a knothole in a fence in my neighborhood. Hidden Views 2, this is through a knothole in the Felton Covered Bridge. Okay. I got another one just this weekend. So there is a Hidden Views 3 on its way. But this one is from the Felton Covered Bridge, believed to be the tallest covered bridge that was ever built. I still haven't heard an explanation of why it was built quite so tall, but it's way tall. Okay. So But it's in Felton, California, which is up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, which, yes, that's where all of those fires that you've been hearing about have been and are still burning. Um, it is um, Felton itself appears to be safe. They're starting to get the fires under control, but it has been just horrible down there. Okay, and then just the other side of San Jose is another huge fire on the next range of hills over there. Okay, uh, so things are bad down here in terms of fires. Thank God none of them are near me, but my heart goes out to folks that are living close to the fires and having to deal with worse smoke than I do. You may hear a huskiness in my voice. That's because for about 2 weeks now, there's been enough smoke in the air here that I can not only see it, I can taste it. And unfortunately, I don't have central air conditioning, so my house is open a lot. And I've been breathing a small amount of smoke, and it's trivial compared to people that are way closer to the fire. So I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you why I sound a little bit husky this morning. This one is Hidden Views 2, Felton Covered Bridge from up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. This is the one that I used to open the show. Okay. This one I call Wildfire Sunrise over Sacramento. On my way out last weekend, I stopped by YOLO Wildlife Center, which is near Davis, California. And it is an area that's reserved for wetlands and wildlife, wetlands restoration and wildlife. And I meant to be there at sunrise. I didn't get there until 9:30, so the sun was fairly high in the sky, but this is what it looked like last Saturday morning. Okay. And you can see just on the bottom here, that is the Sacramento skyline. Okay. And this is no color adjustments. This is what the sun looked like. Okay. Before it got high enough, within the next 40 minutes, it got high enough so it was coming down on the smoke and it got a little bit grayer rather than orange. But wildfire sunrise over Sacramento sort of lets you know what we've been dealing with out here in terms of smoke. It's been bad. It's still bad. Slowly, things are getting under control. Fingers crossed that we don't have a return to the hot, dry winds coming from the inland. We've got our breezes back coming off of the coast again, so that helps. They're wetter and they're less intense. So that will be a good thing. And whatever number this one is, one of the other stops that I made was near Volcano, California. There is a state park called Indian Grinding Rock State Park. And Indian Grinding Rock was a place where bedrock had sort of creeped up through the topsoil. And the Native Americans, the Miwoks, who were native to the Sierras, came here for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. And they would gather in the fall and they would gather up the acorns from all of the natural black oaks that occurred in this area. They would gather up all the acorns and they would grind them into acorn meal with a mortar and pestle. Okay. They didn't create separate mortals. They had pestles, they had rocks, Okay, but for mortars, they just started grinding in the natural indentations in these rocks. And over hundreds and hundreds of years, they made these very, very deep holes. Okay, and you'll be seeing more of this. This isn't just like a small outcropping. There's probably, oh God, a quarter of an acre. In other words, the area, the size of a suburban house lot. Okay, of this bedrock outcropping with these holes all over it. Okay, they've done a really nice job. They've put up uh, some recreation of Miwok houses, and they have a Miwok roundhouse recreation there. It's a very nice park, usually pretty quiet, particularly quiet at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning during the pandemic when I was there. But so once again, this is the way we grind our nuts. Okay, from Indian Grinding Rock State Park near Volcano, California. This next one is in Volcano. Okay. This is the site originally of Bavarian Brewery, which was a brewery in Volcano. I haven't looked up the history. I don't know if they still make beer anywhere. They don't make it in this building. This building is now a private residence, but it has this beautiful native granite, okay, and carved in. It says erected in 1856. So of course I called this one because we all have to get up sometime. This building has been up since 1856. That's earlier than I got up this morning. But it's a real pretty building. I've got a couple other shots straight on with this ivy covered porch in the front and some trees next to it. Volcano is an interesting little town. They have a lot of welcome, G. Pomeraning. I'm sure I am murdering your name, but we had somebody else join on Instagram, at least briefly. I see it joined, but I don't see them here anymore. Be that as it may, Volcano, California, is this town. Old mining town up in the side of on the side of a mountain. All right. And they've kept a lot of their old Main Street. Um, uh, and they've kept a lot of their old history. Very, very interesting place to just go up and park and explore. I was up there on a Saturday, so I parked at the post office. And the whole town is maybe, 4 square blocks. But I got some really, really nice pictures, and this is one of them. This was, as I said, originally the Bavarian Brewery, and now it's a private home, so don't bother anybody there. Um, and this one's called Because We All Have to Get Up Sometime. This one is from, again, from the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. Now, I did call ahead because I am planning to put these on my gallery. So I do have permission from the National Automobile Museum to use these pictures and sell prints. So, as I said, I've got over 300 of them. They will slowly but surely, not all of them, but many of them, make their way onto my website. This one I call Coming Through. I did some different techniques that day. There is something that you do in photography called exposure stacking, okay, or HDR, high definition resolution, I guess. But anyway, basically you take 3 photos of the same thing, one exposed properly, one underexposed, one overexposed. And what that does is it creates a lot of depth of feeling in the picture, a lot of depth of detail. Okay. Because on the really bright places, those come out without being blown out because of the dark picture. And on the really dark places, those come out without being too dark because of the light picture. So you stack them all up, and there's obviously software that does this. It's part of advanced post processing, and we'll talk about that in a future episode. But I did that with all of these 300 plus pictures, which means I actually ended up with over 800 separate images that I got stacked up. But this one, when I stacked it up, and it came out pretty much framed exactly this way. I did crop it so that it was exactly square. That makes it easier for you to frame when you buy the print. But it looks like what you would see in your rear view mirror. I got to tell you, I tried really hard, okay, to get the names of all of the cars, okay, to get the year and make and model, and I missed this one. All right. So I don't know what this one is. I will find out. I do make trips to Reno every now and then. So I will find out what this is. Um, so I will find out what this car is, but it looks like it would be coming up on you in the rearview mirror if you were in a race. So I called this one coming through. Sorry, Pam. I was on another screen. I wasn't seeing all your comments. Thank you for all the wonderful comments. I appreciate that. What else? I think yes, that's 6 of them. All right. So again, this one is called Coming Through. This one, because we all have to get up sometime. This one, this is the way we grind our nuts. If you're wondering, that can be sung to The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. Um, thank you. Now, you all have that song stuck in your head, as well as me. This one is Wildfire Sunrise over Sacramento. You can just see Sacramento there on the bottom. This one, Hidden Views 2, from the Felton covered bridge through a knothole. And this one, I wish I had sat inside. Okay. Because I don't know if you can see here through the internet, but her face looks like she is really straining to hang on to the hood there. So I felt like she enjoyed. She really wishes she was inside instead of out there on the hood. All right. So, so I've done one of the 3 things that I promised. I've shown you actually six new pictures that are going into the gallery probably tomorrow morning by the time I finish all the detail processing and keywords and stuff that I have to do to get them into the website. And then the second thing that I promised is I'm going to give you a lesson about temperature tints, color in post processing. Okay. Just to review a little bit, We've gone through getting very sharp shots, okay, by holding your camera in close, okay, like this, okay, using your elbows against your body to make it very stable, okay, uh, and then using the exposure triangle, okay, which is your aperture, the size of your opening, and your shutter speed, and your sensitivity, what's called your ISO. Okay, and those three things together will make up the how sharp your picture is. Okay, as well as the focus. So we've talked about all of that. We talked about composition and leading lines, the rule of thirds, um, Fibonacci's uh, ratio, and the golden spiral. Um, so if you want to see about all of that you can find on Facebook and you can find on YouTube in prior episodes of Sunday Morning Live with Ron, because I'm Ron and I do this thing. So, um, but today we're going to talk about color. All right. As always, I do go first to a website. Okay. Today we're borrowing from uh, a website called Technology for Media. Okay. And they have a wonderful training lesson, blog post on temperature and tint. Just to give you a little bit of background, because they talk as if you have already know what you're talking about. When they talk about the sliders, these are the controls that you use in the tools, specifically Lightroom, um, to see um, to adjust things. Okay, so um, we'll see the sliders a little bit later when we actually look at Lightroom. But what do they say? Okay, first thing they talk about temperature. Okay, and temperature. Remember we talked a while ago about the color wheel. Okay, and as using color as part of composition. Okay, because um, you put in contrasting colors to help shift focus in your composition. So look up the photography color wheel. I didn't bring that up, so but we talked about how blending opposite sides, you get the more you move to the center, the more you get white light, okay, which is different than pigment, where the more colors you add, the closer you get to black. All right. Well, so cyan and yellow are opposites on the color wheel. Okay. So yellow is considered a hot temperature. Okay. And then cyan is considered a blue temperature. Okay. So if your picture looks too cool for what you feel, then you can adjust the temperature up to make it warmer. Okay. And they talk about outdoor lighting, indoor lighting, and this all goes into white balancing. And as a colorblind guy, I got to tell you, I set mine to automatic and it does what it does. All right. So don't be afraid to use all of the marvelous technology that's built into your cameras. Okay. Um, okay. Uh, if you are shooting, uh, say, snow and winter, and it comes out feeling kind of too warm and you want to get a cooler feel, then you would adjust your slider cooler down more towards the blue side. Okay, and this is called the temperature. And it's in degrees Kelvin. Okay, degrees Kelvin are a lot like degrees Celsius, except that they're different. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I knew once I had to answer this on a chemistry quiz in high school, but not anymore. But basically, when they're talking in degrees Kelvin, it's the colors that metals glow when their temperatures are raised. Okay. So a red hot metal versus a yellow hot metal versus a blue hot metal, then yellow hot metals. Okay. So that's why they talk about measure this in degrees Kelvin. All right. Okay. And then they talk about their specific tool, which is aperture. Okay. And then the other part that we talk about is the tint. Okay. Cyan and yellow are complementary. Okay. Green and magenta are also complementary. And they provide adjustments for green and um, uh, green and magenta that are sort of in a different axis. Okay. So if your color feels right, but your picture still feels green, old fluorescent light bulbs are notorious for providing a greenish light. Okay. So that's really sort of how this slider came to be. Is to adjust for fluorescent lighting, you had to have a way to reduce the green. Okay. Okay. And their tip, if you see green or pink, which is often easy to see in the hair. Now, I do landscape and still life, not a lot of hair. Okay. So I have to rely on my eye. Okay. But if you see green or pink, then you slide in the opposite direction. Okay. And then they talk about the histogram and individual colors and tone curves. That's way beyond me. I really can't see it. But when we do the demonstration, I will show you a trick that I learned that will help you figure this out. As I said, I don't see in colors of gray. I see colors. I just can't always tell you what they are. Okay. And separating a deep red from a deep purple may be beyond me. All right. But I can look at a picture and I can tell you it doesn't look right. So I've learned a trick on things that I can change that, oops, here. I've learned a trick on things that I can change that will let me um, look at and adjust things um, in my pictures and get them more to what I think is right without them turning into like neon signs, which is very, very easy to do when you're adjusting things in post processing. You will see a lot of pictures that, in my opinion, are very, very, very over processed. And again, when we get over to Lightroom, I will show you exactly what that looks like when you over process something. Okay. But before we do that, excuse me while I itch my nose. I got a little itch there. Usually that means something good. I guess I'm going to kiss a fool. Unlikely I'm going to kiss anybody but me today, so I guess that's where my fool is. Um, but I've done two things now, right? I showed you the pictures, okay, and we're going to see those one more time before we get out. And I gave you a lesson, okay, the formal lesson on temperature and tint controls in post processing. In just a second, we're going to do some actual exercises on some of my pictures using temperature and tint. Uh, and the trick that I'm going to show you about using the individual color pieces to get a better color mix. But before I do that, I do want to remind you of a couple of things. First off, it's almost the end of the month. Now, many of you will remember, and I forgot to bring one in today, but many of you will remember that my giveaway this month is called Rockaway Rocks 1. Okay. And if you go to my website, there's the website right there on the screen, ronalcottphotography.com. If you go there um, and you push the here, I'm going to bring it up on my TTP, but I want you to see this picture because it's a very popular picture this month. Okay? If you go there, you will see um, a pop-up come up. Okay, you'll see it right there in the red at the top of the screen. Sorry about the lights. Okay, it is a room. Okay, but you can see that there is a link to enter the August print giveaway, and when you hit that, okay, it brings you here. Okay, where you can enter the giveaway for that picture right there, Rockaway Rocks 1. Okay, that's been a very popular picture. People are really enjoying this. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite pictures. Okay. If you scroll down, all you have to do to enter is enter your email. Okay. I'm not asking for your life history, just an email address so that I can contact you if you win. Okay. How would I contact you if you don't give me an email address? But be that as it may, go there, enter. If you're already on the email list, then you are already in the contest. Um, and Pam has entered. Okay. Pam over here on Facebook has entered already. Um, I know several other people that are following me on Instagram have also entered. Um, all in all, I've got over 600 people right now that are eligible for this drawing. So be sure you get your name in if it's not there already. Go to ronalcottphotography.com, and at the top in the red bar, you'll see a link to enter the August giveaway. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Okay. Uh, so it being the August giveaway, okay, it's going to end Monday, tomorrow. Tomorrow's the end of August already. Can you believe that? It's like with nobody to talk to except me and myself and I and the camera. Uh, all of a sudden, we're at the end of summer. I don't believe it. But Monday is the end of August, so that means Tuesday, live at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, I will be drawing the winner for the August giveaway. And don't forget, even if you don't win, you will get a discount coupon, so you'll be able to pick up. Um, yes, Pam says, "Good luck, everyone, and me." Uh, um, there. This is This is Pam's comment. Good luck, everyone, and me. I like that. um, so, um, so anyway, get in on the drawing because Tuesday, 5:30, I will be drawing live. Okay. That person will have until the end of the week to claim their prize. Okay. If they have not claimed it by Friday, thank you, Pam. You're too kind. Um, if they haven't claimed it by Friday noon, then I'll draw another name on Friday evening. If that winner doesn't claim it, then I will keep my picture. All right. The other things that you need to know. The next version of this show is 2 weeks from today. Okay. So that will be the now 5, 6. Wait, I gotta look around my camera here. So yes, 6, 13. Okay. So that will be the 13th of September. Okay. So the 13th of September, we'll be doing another one of these shows. Um, and we'll start talking about some of the advanced settings that you can use in post processing just to try to correct some problems or add some effects to your pictures. Okay? I'm not big in effects. I try to make pretty natural looking pictures. But sometimes I do use these tools uh, to sort of um, help punch up the subject. Okay. For example, when you look at this picture, you may not have noticed, but I've turned down the saturation on all of this stuff around the lady. Okay. See how it's a little grayish and not as bright. Okay. I had to do that a lot with these pictures from the Auto Museum. Um, and we'll go over things like that. Okay. Um, talk about saturation and brilliance, dehazing, clarity, sharpness. All right. So we've got a lot of sliders to cover next time. Okay. Yes, I'm sure that you will claim the prize if you win. Okay. I have no doubt about that. But occasionally I get people people that entered my original drawing back in January are still on the mailing list, and they probably haven't opened any of my newsletters yet. By the way, if you're on the mailing list, be sure to watch for and open my weekly newsletters for a couple of reasons. One, I hate talking to myself. Two, um, I try, not all the time, but most of the time, there is something special for newsletter readers. Okay. An extra discount code, an extra sale, something going on just for the discount readers, just for the newsletter readers that uh, don't have that don't happen on Facebook or Instagram or any of my ads. Okay, these are just special perks for being loyal readers. So be sure that you open up your newsletter when you get it. Um, it goes out. It's dated on Wednesday, but frankly, I usually don't get it out until Friday. But it does go out every single week. I will talk in depth about whatever was my most popular post from the prior week. Okay? Either about how I came to take the picture, or what the picture makes me think of, or some other topic that just hits my brain for no particular reason. But you'll always uh, have me rambling on about something. That's always good for a laugh. Um, the Next thing that you need to know, and this is a secret, right? I'm not running ads, I'm not promoting, but if you watched my Friday happy hour video, right, which you should do, there's some extra special deals in there, okay, that are just killer. So that's on Facebook and YouTube, and later today will be on Instagram, okay? But on the IGTV part of Instagram, which, by the way, on Instagram, I am Wanderlust Gallery. Okay. But if you search for Ron Olcott Photography, that's also my name on there. So you'll should be able to find me, but the actual tag is Wanderlust Gallery. The What was I saying about that? Oh, on Friday, I announced that for this weekend only, just until midnight tonight, I'm bringing back the 60% off prints, 50% off limited edition on my clearance sale. What's the clearance sale, you ask? Well, that's good that you would ask that. Okay, let me show you. Okay, when you go to my website, all right, here, let me do this because I want to have this set up anyway. I should be screen mirroring already. Am I not? Let's go here and see if I am. No, because that tool is not showing. Where did that tool go? Okay, hang on. Bear with me. All right. That tool just died. So bear with me for 1 second. Here, look at the pretty picture. Okay. Well, I bring up my lonely screen again. There he is. Okay. He goes into that spot there. There it is. Now I can mirror to it. Okay. Boom. Boom. All right. Now when I jump over here, you should be able to see. Oh, look, and it comes out straight. All right. Let me get rid of some of these banners that are in the way. Okay. So you will see if you scroll down just a little bit, and I'm doing this on my iPad, so you won't see the mouse much. Let me get this. I've got this off kilter, trying to get some room for Facebook or for Instagram people. But if you scroll down here, okay, in the second row, you will see this icon here that is end of clearance. Okay. So when I tap on that, I will go to my end of season clearance. Okay. And the end of season clearance sale, okay, you will see that I have regular prints, and it will pop up here in just 1 second, that are normally $32. Okay. And they go down to, oh, I set the coupon wrong. Well, as soon as we get off of this, okay, these $32 prints will go down to $12.95. Okay. Conservatory of Flowers, $290. That'll go down to $145. Okay, so the limited editions are 50% off. The prints, okay, which when you look at them, they come in 3 different flavors, each one of the prints, and these are all limited to stock on hand. These are things that I purchased for shows that did not happen this year. Okay, but you can get it as a standard matte photo. You can get it as metallic. Okay, you can get it as standard photo paper, but with a 2-inch mat, which is what you're seeing here. Okay. To give you an idea of what that looks like, okay, there we are. If we pop this up, give the wall some color, okay, you can see, I don't know why it didn't pick the right picture for that, okay, but anyway, okay. And you will also see that I am offering the option, come on, load up, here we go. You also see that you have the option here to get them signed because they're in stock. Okay, they can be signed. Now it normally adds $50 per unit. Okay, to get them signed, but that signing is 60% off as well. So for a signed print, it's only $20 more. So, but that's happening just through the end of today, and I don't know what happened to the coupon, that it's not working right now, but I'll get that fixed as soon as we finish the show. Okay. So that's going on right now. Okay. So we've got the end of the month. I'll get into the drawing. In 2 weeks, on September 13th, we'll be doing another one of these. In 4 weeks, we'll be doing another one of these. And what would it be? 26, 25, 24th of September, I'll be doing another Friday happy hour. Keep your eye out. I'm going to be coming on live and just doing flash sales. I'm going to grab something out of my box in the other room and run a screaming sale on it, just really quick for no particular reason. Okay. So if you see me going live, you'll have 5 or 10 minutes to get online and take advantage of that. Okay. I see we have a second person joining us on Facebook. Welcome, welcome. So watch out for flash sales. 4 weeks for Friday happy hour, 2 weeks and 4 weeks for Sunday morning live with Ron. Special 60% off clearance through the end of today. You have until tomorrow to sign up for the August giveaway. And of course, we'll have a September giveaway. And on the Tuesday, when I do the live, we will announce the drawing for September and start running all the promotions for that. So that's all the stuff that's coming up. Now, I promised you that we would be doing some work on my photos. So, thank you, Pam. We'll be wrapping up here in about 10 minutes. So, just hang in there. I try to finish by 9:30. And thank you, whoever else has joined us silently on Facebook. Do say hi, because I can't see who you are, but I see that you have joined. Okay. So welcome, welcome. So now, what are we doing? We're going over here. Okay. So again, this is on my iPad. Okay. But part of the joy of having Lightroom is that we can use the same tools on my iPad as I have on my computer. Because for some reason, on my computer, it doesn't show up. Now, you're going to see some different starting points. I'm going to give you a hint. Some of these pictures, if I pop over and look at this, you can see over here on the right-hand side that, okay, this is a JPEG image, okay? And that it was shot with my Canon PowerShot, which was my old point and shoot camera, the one I took to Europe with me. Okay, so it was before I got my Sony A6000. I didn't have the option of shooting RAW, so I had to shoot in JPEG. And the starting point is different when you're editing JPEGs than it is for RAW. And I'll talk about that. Most of you know what a JPEG is, so I won't talk about that much. But so jump over here to my editing tools. Oh, I can't do that on the screen. I have to do that here. Okay. You'll see that right now everything is flat. Okay, I haven't made any of the exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows that we talked about last time. Okay, today we're just going to talk about color. Okay, and you'll see that all of the sliders are set at 0. Whoops, nope, my saturation is creeped up. Okay, so that's what it looked like coming out of the camera. But this water looks really, really green. And, you know, in the coloring books, we were always taught that water is blue. Okay? So we want to get rid of some of that green and go more towards blue on the water. Okay. So the first thing is green is kind of a cool color. So we want to, but so is blue. So remember that our first slider, okay, the temperature slider, will control yellow and cyan. Okay. Well, we want less yellow, right? Okay, because green is yellow and blue. So we want less yellow. So we will move this slider. And just to show you drastics, okay, if we move it all the way, okay, everything turns blue. So we're going to do some subtleties. Now notice this is changing the seal as well. If I was really doing my development, I would not change Mr. Seal. Okay, I would mask and only change the water, but we're going to try to find a balance here. Okay, so that's not bad for color. Okay, if we look at what it looked like before, what it looks like with just a little bit of blue adjustment. Okay, you see that looks more like we expect water to look, except it's still a little bit green over here in this section over here. Okay. See that section up there? That's kind of green. So let's use the tint. And it says if you want to go, you know, if it's too green, you go away. And when you're zoomed in, it does this marvelous thing where it actually brings things up for you. Let me get back to there, my picture. Okay. See, now I've gotten rid of a little bit more of that green. The water's turning that pretty blue. Mr. Seal's kind of blue. We can live with that. Okay. He's kind of crooked. Okay. As I said, there are things that I would do to this photo if I was doing the full development, but we're not doing that right now. All right. Let's move on to the next photo. This one, this is a rock and roll band at Little Lou's Barbecue down in Campbell, California, which is may or may not be part of San Jose, depending on who you talk to. But it's a fun place, and they had live music every weekend. I think every night of the week. Marvelous place. They're having live music again with outdoor seating, so do get down there and support them. Another place that's having live music this weekend is the Relic Tavern, but don't go today. They are having live music today, but I want to get a seat. So don't go to the Relic Tavern, but that's in Benicia. I know. I love listening to live music, Pam. It's one of my favorite things. Um, so we've reached the 1 hour limit on on Instagram, so they've shut off. So we'll say bye bye Instagram. But I'm going to go ahead and finish these. Now, in this case, we've got a rock and roll scene. Okay. It's okay that it's blue because, it's a rock and roll scene. But this is a little tiny place. Um, and there is as much light out here in the audience as there is on the screen. As you can see, the singer's kind of up front. He has kind of natural light on him. And we would really like this to be a little more rock and roll. So let's take the blue and make it a little bit bluer. Okay. Let's do it on the control that matters. There. That looks more rock and roll. Make it a little bit more purple even. There we go. Now, I promised I was going to show you the trick about colors. There is this tool called the color mixer, okay, that you can activate in Lightroom, and it gives you what, 8 different colors that you can control individually: the hue, the saturation, and the brilliance. Okay, hue. Hue is how far away from the pure color you are in terms of moving it towards white. Okay, so if I knock down the hue on red, okay, then it moves towards white. If I increase the hue on red, if my finger worked, okay, it moves more red. Okay. Now notice it's just changing the few things that are red in there, like the little lose sign. Okay, watch the little lose sign as I change that hue. Okay, more red, less red. Okay, get him back to 0. The saturation is how intensely red it is. So as I increase the saturation on this red, you should see that sign really start to get a little more red. All right. And then luminance is how dark or bright it is. Okay. So I'll make it a little more bright. Okay. And then we can do the same thing. Okay. So what's the trick? Here's the trick I learned. I don't know what that orange looks like in this picture. But if I turn it all the way down to plus 100%, all the way down to 0, okay, I can see what changes. And the answer is not much because it's a very blue picture. Okay. But if we go up here to the hot pinks, okay, watch what happens to that little lose sign. Okay. Go, ooh, look, that's where the pink is. So if I increase the pink saturation, now I'm really starting to change that little lose sign. But notice I'm not changing any of the blue guys. If I want to change the blue guys, I would go to the cyan. Okay. Notice if I take that all the way out, it's like, okay, those are the pieces I'm changing. Okay. Let's make it even more blue and a little bit brighter. Okay. Down in there. Okay. Then we go to this purple. What's the purple? Oh, it's going to affect much the same areas. Okay. There we go. We're going to go deep purple. Okay. Okay, the next one is cyan. I don't think we have a lot of pure cyan here. Okay. See, not much changes. Okay. Greens. We don't have a lot of greens. All right. So, but by using these individual sliders, okay, taking them all the way out, okay, I can then see what areas of the pictures I should look at to see a change effect in color. Okay. So that's my secret tip that I've learned. All right. So yeah, I love the deep purple too. Okay. So we're gonna go back here to the purple. I'm gonna get a really deep purple. There we go. Uh, oh, there's Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for dropping in. Um, where am I? So anyway, this is the trick that I learned about color. Okay, and I can get that out of the way. This little circle up here is just what turns that on and off. All right. So that's how we control color. This one, we looked at some that were too warm. This one is too yellow. So we're going to go away from the yellow, more towards the cyan. Okay. But not too green. Okay. We'll talk about saturation. I remember I told you I would talk about what happens if you overproduce something, and saturation is something that people love to overproduce. If you bring up the saturation, that is how much color are you actually adding. Okay, notice how the colors get deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, and how the wheel on the tractor over here um, really has gotten insanely red. Okay, and then if I up the vibrance, okay, which is how intense those colors are. Notice the wall got yellow, okay? That's an off-white wall. It's not yellow by any means, okay? So one of the things that I found in the auto museum is the colors on these cars are so saturated that by default, I tend to bump the saturation and the vibrance a little bit. That's what gives me such colorful prints. And that look that people have sort of come to know uh, that I'm trying to develop and identify as mine. Um, Here's another one. Okay, again, it looks a little yellow to me on the wall. So if we take that temperature down just a touch, okay, you see it doesn't take much. Okay, again, this flower actually looked like that, but it starts to look oversaturated on the prints. Okay, and it doesn't take much to look really oversaturated if I move the saturation up. Okay, but we don't want to take out of the greens of the print, so I will move a little bit towards the green. Okay, there on that one. All right. Um, what else have we got? This one is just sort of yeah. Okay, but notice my controls have changed. Now, instead of starting at 0 and 0, my temperature and tint start at different values. And that's because this one was taken with my A6000. Okay. And that means that it was taken in a .arw or a raw format. That means that instead of doing interpretation to make a JPEG, which is what your camera does when you're shooting in JPEG, this is just a transcription of every single pixel on the sensor in my camera. Okay, so it looks very flat. So I would do a fair amount of adjusting to this to get it to be interesting. But what I wanted to show was this is wintertime. Okay, as much as there should be more snow. This is February, so it should be wintertime. So I want to go to a little bit cooler temperature. So I'm going to move the cyan over to the cyan letter side, okay? And I'm going to move the tint a little bit over to the greener side, okay? Let's move that temperature over just a little bit more. There, now, see how you start to get a little bit of blue feel to the whole landscape, okay? Now, because I can't ever just let things go, I'm going to do a couple of other things just to give you an idea of what's coming up. Dehaze is one of my new favorites. Okay, we'll take a lot of that haziness out of the air. You start to see that there actually is a airplane trail in the thing, in the roof up there. Okay, and then we can add just a little touch of clarity and texture, which make it just a little bit more detailed, okay? And then we won't add anything there, but we will go over here, okay, and do my basic light adjustments, okay? That starts to look like a picture that I would publish, all right? So if I go back to my controls, done, done. Go back to my controls here, okay? You can see it undid my stuff here, so let me make this just a little bit cooler. Get that winter feel again. Oop, too much. There we go. And a little bit greener. There we go. All right. So that's what that does. Yeah. Last one. Sorry, I've run over. Okay. But I get doing this. That's what I sat in this chair for something like 10 hours straight yesterday, developing the pictures from the photo shoot at the art museum, because I was having too much fun. Okay, I mentioned that I was doing this stacking things. One of the things that happens with this stacking thing is, to me, the colors, particularly of the reds, come out more orange than they looked in the museum. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, okay, let's put this back. Okay, see how that has sort of an orangey feel to it? Okay, in fact, this was a pretty pure red. Okay, so I'm going to take the saturation of the orange out a little bit. Okay, right about there. Maybe make it a little less there. Okay, and then I want to take the saturation of the red, move it up a little bit. Okay, make him a little bit redder. Okay, so now that, to me, looks more like the red that I saw when I was in the auto museum. All right. So you have the big controls, okay, your temperature and tint, okay, and then you can adjust individual colors within the picture. Okay. Say I want to draw attention away from that yellow car in the background. Okay. If I take his saturation way down, notice I didn't do anything to the red car in the foreground. I just took the yellow car out. Okay. There's a lot of yellow in that background. Okay. So there's lots of things you can do with adjusting this color to make interesting effects. Okay. To help you compose your picture after the fact. Okay. So what did we do? Today we did, yeah, I've got some nice pictures of that yellow car. I've got some nice pictures of a lot of cars, Pam. Trust me, I've got some nice pictures of a lot of cars. Uh, it was very, very hard to shoot there, because there's a lot of signs in the way. But I did manage to get a few, like this one. I've got some of the yellow car, where the picture managed to avoid the big signs. Um, this one obviously is a Maxwell, that last one, but lost my whole train of thought. But anyway, I really had a fun time shooting there. I'm really having a fun time playing with these effects of how to, in a very crowded, what the military would call target-rich environment, okay, how to make one car show up very clearly against a very cluttered background. So that's been an interesting challenge that I've really had a fun time working with. So what did we do today? We showed you the pictures. Okay. Thank you, Pam. You stay safe too. We showed you the pictures. So here are the pictures again. I really wish I'd sat inside. Hidden View 2. Wildfire sunrise over Sacramento. There's Sacramento. All right. This is the way we grind our nuts, sung to the tune of The Wheels of the Bus Go Round and Round. Because everybody has to get up sometime. And coming through. Okay, so I got 6 pictures this week. Okay. We talked about using temperature, okay, and tint. Okay. And then we didn't look at the actual histogram because they don't make sense to me, but we did talk about the whole idea of using the color wheel and those specific color mixers in Lightroom to be able to adjust individual colors and see some of the effects that you can create with that. And we looked at, and this is a particularly stunning example. Now that Instagram is gone, let me move this more towards the center. We looked at what you can do just by controlling some of the individual colors within the picture. All right. We reminded you that 2 weeks from today, we'll be doing this all over again, and we'll talk about the next set of controls in Lightroom. We talked about the fact that 4 weeks from today, well, not from today, 4 weeks from Friday, last Friday, we'll be doing another Friday happy hour. We talked about the fact that if you go to Friday happy hour on Facebook and YouTube and soon to be IGTV, you can hear about the 3 extreme discounts that I'm running on things in stock that I have. Special, one of a kinds, a metal print, a wood print, and an extra large. It was supposed to be my first giveaway. I will never do this print again. Okay. And I'm selling that for less than half price. So look at the Friday episode and that will Friday happy hour episode and learn about those. And that's also where I announced that, you know what, actually I'm going to do it through Monday because I screwed up the coupon. The clearance sale on the website is going to run through Monday. And there it is. Okay. So the clearance sale on the website, just go to the website. Okay. Oh, while we're here, it's almost the end of August. Tomorrow's the end of August. Be sure you get into the August print giveaway for Rockaway Rocks, which, if you like Rockaway Rocks, we have a Rockaway Rocks calendar. Don't forget to get on there. Okay. You may see those, just as a hint, on flash sales soon. So don't be surprised if you see a flash sale on calendars. Okay. But we also have an entire gallery, okay, dedicated to my end of season clearance, right down here in the second rank. Okay. And when you get there after the show, it will automatically have all of these prices for all of the prints marked down 60%, for all the limited editions marked down 50%. So that sale is going on through the end of tomorrow as well. So, have I confused you enough for one day? If not, ponder this. Schismatal Flagmagic. come up with 5 definitions. Get back to me as soon as you can. If you've got pictures of couches, I'm trying to make a couch calendar. Please send me pictures of your couches. If you don't have pictures of couches, take a picture of your couch, send it to me. If your picture gets used on the couch calendar, you get a free couch calendar. I'm just stalling now. I'm just babbling, babble, 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 babble. You know what? You be good to yourself, be kind to other people, and become the person that you would like to meet. Peace out.